nothing ever goes to plan. Nothing
Yeah.
ever goes to plan. In the whole situation, there wasn't really much control with anything, or you kind of just had to go with the flow, and whatever happened, happened. You had nothing, you had no control over anything. Probably back in April when everything like started, and it started off with me in like the weight room powerlifting, and we were just going through a normal workout routine, and I had like a injury while I was squatting doing the workout, and it just didn't like seem to be healing up really well. And a little bit prior to that, I had thought I had like the cold, and I just had stayed home from school a couple of days. But with the groin injury and everything, it wasn't getting any better, and I was doing a lot of stretching, and I went down to the trainers, and they wrote me a script to go get checked out at Coordinated Health. They just said that I had like a mild strain and everything like that, and and it just gave me some crutches, and it was just kind of slow from there. And we eventually got my blood work done, and I went into school that day. I signed out and everything, and I looked at my mom, and she was like, "We have to go to a doctor's appointment." I'm like, "What for?" She's like, "I'll explain when you get in the car." So I was really confused, and we're walking out to the car and everything, and she's like, "We have to go to the hospital. They said something's wrong with your blood work." And I was really nervous because, I mean, you get told you have to go to the hospital for some reason. It's like nerve-wracking. And we were on our way there, and I think they put us right up in a room, didn't they?
Yeah, like they just said, show up at the hospital and give his name and they'll tell you where to go. And they took us right up to the pediatric floor and like put us right in a room.
Yeah, they didn't say anything. We just sat down right in a room. I think we were sat there for like a whole hour.
No, we didn't sit there long. And
But
they just came in and they just started doing an assessment on him and asking him all these questions. And we're just kind of looking at each other like, why are we here? And I don't know.
And then Dr. Phil,
doctors
my
came
oncologist came in, Dr. Phil, and he came in, he just kind of sat down and he told me what the whole situation was, and I got diagnosed with leukemia and everything, and kind of just felt like a big metal bat like hits you in the face. And we both really didn't know what to do, and they just said we were going to start treatment, the next morning?
No, that night. They started right away.
Yeah, it was right away. And
I mean, it was like an hour later, and I'm signing consents for chemotherapy, and it was just...
It was crazy.
Surreal.
So.
No one could really give us an answer. It's pretty rare, so... And there wasn't like a support group to really reach out to.
So they tested my brothers, and we waited another good solid month to even hear anything about it.
Yeah.
And all they had to do was test Brock with some blood work, and it came back that Brock was the best possible match you can get for a transplant patient.
It was like he's a perfect match,
yeah.
Which is like really rare. So.
From Brody's mom, saying that they were on their way to the hospital and his phone was dead, and he texted me back later, and I had no idea what was going on.
She would come on Sundays all the time, and usually like nights that she would come, she would make me watch like Disney movies with her all the time in my hospital bed. I would get slammed with like The Little Mermaid at least twice a week. I almost memorized like all the lines to the movie by the time I was out of Lehigh Valley. And like the first month of treatment, it was pretty much around the clock chemo. Like I think there were like 8-hour sessions, and it would be like every 4 hours you would get a bag of chemo. Yeah, first treatment I was really sick and everything, and it was totally like when you first get the chemo and everything, it's really intense, and it's something your body never has ever gone through before. It literally feels like you're being backed over and over again by a freight truck. You have to get these bone marrow biopsies, and what that is just a quick procedure. They put you under anesthesia for it, and they just stick a needle up your hip, and they withdraw the bone marrow, and occasionally there would be a good old spinal tap in there, where they take like a good 12-inch needle and put it up your spine to withdraw fluid to make sure the cancer doesn't go to your spine. So I would get one of those once a month. A lot of my buddies would always come. I think it was Thursday nights, me and all the offensive line guys that played last year. We would come, we would have poker nights. We would play poker in my hospital room. We'd play card games, and guys would sneak food into the room, and we'd have like buffalo wings and stuff like that while we were in there.
All right, so Nick Kaluri was a 19-year-old resident of Delaware County who was a walk-on athlete at Hofstra University playing lacrosse, and his sophomore year he had some allergy-like symptoms, and he went to the doctor, got it biopsied. It turned out to be a non-Hodgkin's type B lymphoma, actually one of only 20 documented cases at the time in the world. He was given 3 months to live. He lived about 14 months, but in those 14 months, he set up a framework of ideas that he wanted to see carried out after he passed for resources that were lacking when he was receiving his treatment. Now, in his name, we operate the Headstrong Foundation, which runs 2 facilities completely free of charge that allow people to stay for receiving treatment, and the University of Pennsylvania. We have a financial assistance program that grants people money for their hardships, the mortgages, the bills, whatever it may be, while you're facing cancer. And we also have a head-to-head program that allows people who have been through the fight to mentor people who are new to the fight or just getting started with everything. So Brody came to us, I guess, in October of 2016. He was receiving treatment at a hospital where he lived, and his doctor essentially told him for a better chance of survival, he needed to come to the University of Pennsylvania, receive treatment there with their doctors, and it just so happened that our facility was open and Brody was able to come here, stay for free while he received his treatment.
The day he arrived, it was an instant connection for me, and I saw the fight that my own son went through. His attitude, his spirit is the reason we do what we do. We see that same fight over and over. It's that never give up. It's that not why me and not feel sorry for me, but I'm going to beat this. I got this for a reason. It's okay. And over the course of time that he was with us, boy, did we fall head over heels in love. My hat goes off to Brody because he hasn't been dealt the best cards in his life, and yet it's okay. He has overcome such adversity, besides the disease, and he's just a very, very, very special person. All anybody wants is to be normal, and that normalcy is something that is robbed from you as a result of this disease. And I remember Nicholas just saying that too. And we hear that over and over and over.
Yes, I really do plan on coming back this season, so I'm really doing the best I can and everything that I need to do to get back to that point. I would love to come back for my senior year. I think it would be awesome.
Nick and Brody are a lot alike, and I think that was part of the attraction for me. And it's just that attitude. It's that once in a blue moon, you come across somebody who touches you. And Nicholas did that to a lot of people, including his mother, and Brody did that for me.